All right. Part one, let's talk about Maya Brody. Who is Maya Brody? Maya Brody is first and foremost a criminal, but she more importantly is a member and representative of the Missouri Office of Chief Disciplinary Counsel. She is the representative for St. Louis, Missouri, and she is actively involved in corruption. How do I know? She represents the mother of my children, Miss Copeland, who I've heard of, you may have heard about in other posts. But Maya Brody, and by the way, she convinced the federal judge to redact and force the sealing and redaction of her address, home address, which is typical to list for service reasons, service of process. Miss Brody really must have done some terrible things to people if she's afraid of her address being let out. So that is now redacted. But who is Maya Brody also? She is married to a gentleman named Matt Rossiter. Now, who's Matt Rossiter? He is on the, and has been, on the commission, the Judicial Commission that makes recommendations to the Missouri governor to appoint judges. Now, who on the commission that Mr. Rossiter sat upon, he made two specific recommendations that are of relevance. He was of the group that recommended Judge Bruce Hilton. Guess who Judge Bruce Hilton is? He was appointed by Governor Greitens. He is my judge, and appearing before before Judge Hilton, and has been, is Maya Brody, whose husband essentially put him on the bench. And who else? Remember, Commissioner Greaves, I have sued in the federal RICO case because I caught her in ex parte communication. Who was she ex parte communicating with? Maya Brody. And guess who Maya Brody's husband, Mr. Rossiter, recommended, it didn't work, but recommended Mary Greaves to be a judge within the St. Louis County Court. She ultimately was appointed as a commissioner she was moved from being a traffic commissioner to now she's a family court commissioner. But this video is just to touch base on the fact that Maya Brody is responsible for reviewing and having influence on ethical violations and reports. And guess what? Do you think that's a coincidence that she's in that role? It is not. Everyone is perfectly placed where they should be. Miss Brody is there to make sure allegations of corruption make it nowhere in the state of Missouri. And when they do get to the Office of Chief Disciplinary Counsel, such as mine, and I've been on the phone with them and sent them numerous reports, they do nothing. They absolutely sit on it. And they actually, the worst of allegations, they sent me a letter that says, you know what, this is so bad, this is criminal conduct. We're not going to investigate this unless there are charges brought against this lawyer, guardian ad litem, or judge or commissioner. So that is, in my opinion, and I tried to file a suit on this, and I may revisit it, that is unconstitutional because that provision and that rule, internal protocol, exists to protect the worst of the worst. If there's someone you're going to investigate, it should be those that judges and lawyers and guardian ad litem that are alleged to have violated the law in the context of child custody cases. It is simply outrageous. So I'm going to get to the bottom of that. Maybe it is an oversight by, I filed this with the Missouri Supreme Court months ago and advised them of this. So just a quick update on Miss Brody. Again, I can't believe they have not removed her from that position as far as I know. When I called, I asked for a special appointee, since obviously anyone in St. Louis is going to cover for her. And it appears to me, in my opinion, that the OCDC is covering for her now because she is one of theirs. One of their own has been caught conspiring, concluding with the presiding judge of the 21st Circuit in the state of Missouri, St. Louis County. So they've all been caught. I'm suing them all in federal court. Case number 25 CV 01203, Matt Grant et al. Versus Bruce F. Hilton et al. I've got them on civil RICO and a Civil Rights Act violation case, including class action allegations. So this is part one on Maya Brody. And I haven't even got to all the stuff about her lying to the judge and being caught on the record. I'll address that in future posts. But Ms. Brody thus far has not received any individual attention, and it's far overdue.